Welcome back, fellow developers. Today we are going to talk about a lot of things, but one of them is AWS outage. Today all the major services were out and Medium was one of them, and I discovered this. Like, it happened long time ago, but I was not on any services. I saw Medium was down, so here it is. The AWS is down, so other services are down. Okay, okay. There are a lot of things. Okay. I'm building a tool that will be, I'm hoping, really useful to a lot of people. And uh, while making that, because the tool comprises of many languages, so I have to learn a lot of things about many different languages. So I'm very much a JavaScript developer. Last week I started Go. So Go I really like. It is very close to JavaScript, but also has many low level concepts. So I'm really a big fan of how they are doing things. Did not like Rust so far. I'm trying to learn Rust also, but not just learn, I'm trying to implement something in all the languages. Rust is one of them. Did not like Rust so far. It has very weird way of doing things. First of all, like, I feel like JSON parse. Okay, so Go has a JSON parser. JavaScript has a JSON parser. I expected Rust to also have a JSON parser, but apparently it did not, because their philosophy is to keep things very simple. So there's a package called Serde. I think I pronounced it right. Serde. Wait, Serde. What? So, yep. I spend a whole lot of time here, um, reading bunch of stuff. So yeah, I'll get back to that, what that is and what I'm trying to do. But again, Rust did not have it, which caused a bunch of issues with the things that I was trying to build. But yeah, now you know. Uh, with C and C++, I also learned today that they can use the same command to build a binary. This is, again, not very surprising, but again, something that I learned today. Okay, little bit off topic, but Loom and Zoom are very annoying software to me. Like, they are very annoying. Zoom had this weird habit of, I don't want to install the software, but if I go through browser, they are always a prick about having to log in and like, do you want to use the app? It's very annoying. Second thing about Loom is that I wanted to shoot this format video. You see, I have how I'm in the corner, but I don't like the Obsidian format where, not Obsidian, OBS format where I'm in the corner and it can only be a square. It was very annoying. But now, Loom, if I wanted to use Loom like this, where it was at least a circle, but they were being pricks about me letting me download the video in good quality and even downloading the video altogether. So yeah, today I discovered that, and I do not like Loom at all. Yeah, I also discovered two new tools today, which is Wheatpress and Jekyll. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. It's called Jekyll. Okay, so this one. I will try this out sometime, but what I wanted to do was basically keep a dev journal sort of a thing, and I was looking at different tools, which I think I'll go with Docusaurus because I know React, and uh, it has good fuzzy search and everything, or I will learn Vue and then go to Wheatpress. I also want to try Wheatpress because uh, oh, sorry, no, this Wheatpress. I also want to try Wheatpress. I also wanted to learn Vue, so maybe I will try Wheatpress and let you guys know how that goes. So the next thing, it was how annoying it is. The next thing that I discovered was basically how annoying it is to draw a squircle on the internet. So basically, I can basically build a tool. I can learn how to do that on the, but I just wanted a squircle, right? And Shutterstock is very annoying about letting a good quality image be on the internet for use. Like, it's not their fault, they are trying to make money. But the thing was, why didn't Canva have a squircle? Because I wanted to use like this. You see how this shape is squircle? I wanted to use it like this. So I had to spend half an hour figuring out how to do this. Yeah, but it looks good, right? Squircle is worth it for all the effort that I went through it. So I like the squircle shape. I'm going to keep this format for the rest of my videos. Another thing which happened last week, not today, but it was, I discovered this problem when I was working with React. It's not a problem. Basically, I don't understand what is going on here. So I asked it on Stack Overflow. I've gotten a couple of answers. I still don't understand it fully. I'll wait till one of you or someone else gives me a better explanation, because what I want here is explanation and not a workaround So yeah, in short, I'll tell you the problem. So in onChange, I have used the async, and if I put the value of e.target.value in a constant and in a variable and then use it to set a, it basically works. It like normal, how would I expect? But if I use set a, as you can see the commented part, this one, if I use this one, it doesn't work. It uses a stale value, and I wanted to know why. If I don't get the answer for this long, if I don't get the answer for this for long enough, I'll just go inside React and just read what is happening, which will be another interesting trip and a good topic to make video on, because I will definitely learn a lot there. Here's another thing. I was working with C to iterate over some array, but the value of the array was derived from a JSON, right? And coming from JavaScript, Go, it was fairly simple to understand what is the next step here. Okay, take the value of from JSON, put it in a variable, and then just iterate over it using a for loop. Not quite so simple in C, right? When you take a value from JSON and pass it with CJSON, you still have to use the iteration method given by CJSON to loop over the array. Now I'm looking for a way to convert it into a normal array, or just, like, because that array I need to pass everywhere. So it would be better if I convert it into a normal array, then pass it. Otherwise, I will have to rely on CJSON's array iterator everywhere. So yeah, I wish there was a better solution, or I haven't found it yet. I'm still looking for this, but yeah, it's called CJSON array for each, and I'm still looking for a solution. If you know, please comment down below. Last thing, oh, this is my favorite one. Okay, Cursor is an amazing tool. Like, it is hands down very beautifully designed tool for specifically one thing, which is that tool should be definitely only used for something which you already know how it works. Hands down. Like, first of all, I stopped using agent because I'll tell you why. But I'm strictly talking about the tab now, right? The tab is taking away the ability to have my, like, how I type stuff. And like with React, it is okay, because it is like, for 3 years I've been writing React code, right? React JavaScript now. That is okay. But when I was using Cursor, because I wanted to, not because I wanted to, but I was learning new languages and my default editor was Cursor. So I was just using it. And what I realized was, if I turn off Cursor tab, it's a whole different learning experience. By different learning experience, I mean that it becomes a better learning experience. For example, if I am writing a loop in Go, then I'll just write it, right? Like, I'll just write it normally. And when I'm using Cursor tab, it will write it for me. So I don't know how it is actually feels to write a loop in Go. And there are different ways to write it in Go. And I like to have the ability to a conscious choice of what I'm making. Like, I need that decision to be a conscious one, not an automatic one. Because when I come back to debug the issue, there are two things that happen. First is when I have written the code all by myself and there is an issue in the code, and instantly I come back to it and I know where the issue is. The thing versus where the code is written by an agent, or just tap through my all wait. If I come back, I have to come back and read the code which is not written by me, and for me that is taking longer time, even though the logic is something I wrote, but the code is not written by me. So the better way of putting it is, the code is not indexed in my brain. Like, but if I write it myself, the code is indexed in my brain. I know exactly where to look, and it is a much faster exercise for me to do it like that, right? Cursor tab is amazing. I'm not going to write HTML by hand or like JSX by hand, right? But the main logic part, if there is a complex hook, if there is a complex HOC, if there is a complex context, if there is like RTK stuff that I'm writing, query stuff I'm writing, backend I'm writing, I'll do it myself. Yeah. And the same thing, and especially when I'm learning a new language, I realize when I'm working with all these new languages for me, right? At least at my stage where I'm not used to um, being aware of this low level stuff, right? At that point, I feel like everyone should just write code by their own hand and make conscious decisions about what they're writing. Like cursor is unnecessarily too helpful into completing the code when I'm trying to learn new stuff. And it wasn't an exercise for me to learn. So what I got frustrated by was it wasn't just a learning exercise for me. I was trying to solve a problem with a different language. And cursor, while it was doing its thing, just tap tap tap, it annoyed me because it was making certain decisions for me which I didn't want, and I hated that. And when I went slightly back and I was turned off cursor, disabled the cursor tab, it was like, oh fuck, I did not actually know how to write a loop in Rust, for example, right? And then I had to look it up and write. And but now I know, right? It's much more embedded. Before that, it was a very shallow experience of writing that. So I'm disabling cursor, especially for the projects that I'm really interested in and really want to do myself. I just want to just uh, code that shit with my hand, and it's okay. I don't mind spending much time. I would much rather not spend time on debugging the code that could have been written better in the first place. Oh my god. And especially this stuff happened because I relied on the same thing when I was writing. Uh, so for this one project, I was not using AI at all. So this one project I wanted to be like, okay, at my job I already use AI too much in the sense that because we need to deliver a lot and I have to manage team of 5 people, and all of them are using AI. And like if I write some code, cursor is always there, tap tap tap. I still don't use agent or chat, but like the tap 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 is always there. So I was like, okay, like I will use it less. I will not just chat with AI for this project or whatever, right? I'll figure out everything myself because I felt a little out of practice. What I realized was it just gives your brain a good amount of exercise to do that, and I'm going to chase that feeling, and I'll keep doing that. I'll keep doing that. I'll go back to NeoVim in a while. The only reason I'm still on cursor is because I still use it for my job and it is being paid for and all that. But I'll move back to NeoVim in a bit, and I'll start using NeoVim because again I like the experience of just clickety clackety and also actual experience. I want to know what I'm writing. It's and tab takes that away from me. It's okay to write take some time. Or like one thing that I was discussing was I'll use cursor as a very specific tool. Like if I need to solve a very specific problem, then I will use it, but otherwise I won't. So yeah, I forgot what I was going to say, but anyway, so this, especially if you're a beginner, don't use cursor at all. I have seen too many juniors whom I have worked with make the same mistake that they do not know the code at all which they are writing. So yeah.